Here we go. It's a brand new episode of Not So Christian Brothers. Two brothers, not so Christian. I'm Colm Hayes, and Justin Caffrey is my brother. We have different names for legal reasons. And you can view this on YouTube as well. And also, sorry, you can click and see it on what's the Spotify, because you'll see the video. The reason I want to direct people to see the video is because Justin has a microphone which is attached to a wooden spoon, to which his mother presented to him. That's the one she used to hit him with.
Yes, and she did. Many times I got hit on the back of the legs by a
Yeah.
wooden spoon.
Yeah.
So
So
wooden spoon
France,
trauma. I think a lot of kids probably have wooden spoon trauma in Ireland.
I think so. It was the wooden spoon. That was always the threat. Did you actually get it?
Oh yeah. No, I got hit with it. I mean, it
Right.
was often, just a shaking of the drawer that the wooden spoon was
That's
in.
right. Actually, yeah, the threat. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the entry point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I did get it. I mean, she was almost kind of like ninja-esque in like the speed at which she could take the wooden spoon out,
Mm.
almost flick it around, and as I'm running away, like in a Vietnam movie when a grenade is being thrown in, I'm running
Yeah.
away going, no, and she is still perfectly able to catch me on the back of the leg as I tried to evade it. It was
Yeah.
quite impressive. I mean,
Quite an
she's
arch.
an impressive woman.
She had an RPWS, a rocket-propelled wooden spoon.
Same parents, different timelines, and united by chaos. Strap on, strap in, for the not-so-Christian brothers.
Had they done the wooden spoon like in a sort of an Olympic sport, the throwing of the wooden spoon, I think Northside mums would have absolutely walked away with that.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think Northside mothers and Northside mums are actually called mams. We
Yeah,
discussed that in
mammies.
an earlier episode because Colin
Yeah.
went to live on a different part of the city and lost his ability to speak within his common vernacular. He
Oh no,
upped his game.
it comes back to me when I go back to the Ballier.
Yeah. So that was when it was your mammy,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
mam.
Ah.
But yeah, she is lethal and very capable. I mean, I had lunch with her yesterday. She's 91 years of age,
Mm.
and I still think if she was given half the chance, and I'd say if this wooden spoon was in her vicinity,
Yeah.
and I was nearby, I think it would be a natural reflex. I think she still just hit me with it.
I'd love to think that at 91 she still brings the wooden spoon in her handbag, even into a restaurant. And like if she's given bad service, zoom, the waiter gets one across the face. Now I'm telling you, get those chips, get them back now, get them warm. She doesn't talk like that, by the way. Oh, I just got hit by the euphemistic wooden spoon there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, she doesn't talk like that. If
no,
anything, she's the poshest person in Santry.
yeah,
And
yeah.
hence the fact that we don't all have very strong Northside Dublin accents because she effectively beat them out of us with the wooden spoon.
With the-
We didn't make her enunciations right. It was
And it was the wooden spoon.
wooden.
See, great. She won't hear this, so it's fine. So we grew up in Santry, which is the north side hood, let's call it, in Dublin City, and further north it got a little bit rougher and rougher. But she used to answer the phone. She had a phone voice, and it was, "Hello, Caffrey," and it'd be very sing-songy, and you go, "Ma, it's me, it's Colm. Ah, yeah, how are you?"
But I had to answer the phone like that as well as a kid. Like I had to pick up the phone. If I picked up the phone, I had to say hello, Caffrey.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah, it was almost sing-song, wasn't it?
but it was also like I think in terms of the general nature of violence at that stage in the 80s in Ireland, like we both worked in the same pub, which we won't mention.
Oh, yeah.
And the woman who used to run that pub, she
God.
used to carry like a little piece of bamboo, and it would be up her sleeve. And when I mean, I think this is a great way to improve customer service
Okay.
as a whole, right? But and yesterday we're having lunch with our mother, and when you're trying to like catch service people's attention, they're not
Yeah.
really looking around tables, they're looking up at the sky, they're thinking
Yeah.
about their phone, their TikTok, whatever, right? Well, when I worked in this pub, this woman who back then was probably in her 70s
Yeah.
used to have this tiny little stick, like a bamboo stick, and she would walk around the bar. And any of the staff were not checking people's tables to see if their glasses were empty or figuring out if they needed to serve a customer, she would come up behind you like such a stealth like ninja
Yeah.
and flick you on the back of the head with
Great
this
idea.
tiny little stick. So it would just like it'd be a stinging flick in the back of your
Yeah.
head. You'd be like, oh, oh, and then you knew you're not looking around. So what happened was we had superb servers
Yeah,
because at
yeah.
all points everybody was like glancing around, check out, make sure this people's glasses aren't filled. So maybe we need a bit more violence.
There was a thing, and we won't mention the pub, but it was in the north side, and there was people used to love going into the pub because the service was amazing, and every waitress or waiter had one red ear.
Yeah,
And
pretty
it was-
much. Pretty much. So
I remember.
I got it in the ear from her and the back of my legs from my mum.
I remember when she had two huge Pyrenees mountain dogs in this pub that regularly went into the ladies' toilets because I was working there before you to drink the water from the toilets. And she would go, Colm! And because I was 15, I think it's, and I probably shouldn't have been working there, it was illegal. She'd say, into the ladies, get the dogs out. And I go, but I'm a guy. Don't worry, you're too young. You wouldn't know anything. So I had to knock on the door of the ladies' toilets and then walk in and drag these two Bernese mountain dogs out from each of the cubibles because they were just drinking the water. And there'd be girls screaming. I go, she said it was okay. The woman was. She knew how to run a place. I'll say that.
She knew to run a place. She knew to make a few quid. And yeah, I mean, I think I was working there when I was in first year in school, so I was about 13. So, but yeah, so I think wooden spoons, violence, and how we're brought up are important. And in other news about how people are brought up,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
has Tiger Woods' car accident happened because of the way that his parents brought him up, right? So can we draw a line between the obsessive nature of his father wanting him to be successful at the behest of everything else, and then Tiger taking that on, and the downfall of the Tiger?
Okay. And
because Tiger was found recently again for the second time with his car upside down around the corner from his house, which is a bit of an unusual place to get to again.
He crawled out of his Range Rover, didn't he? And the previous time he actually crashed, it was into a tree, and they found him crashed in a tree, but he'd fallen asleep. And now they didn't find. I was just looking at the report that just to say, and then we can go back to it. Was it his father? They didn't find enough alcohol in his blood system. So they said they wanted a urine analysis, and he refused to give that. And under Floridian law, if you refuse to give that, then you're assumed that you're a DIU. DUI.
It's the same in Ireland and the UK.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you refuse to give a sample, then you are taken as read in breach.
Okay, so that's why he's in breach. And
so sorry, that is what happened. Sorry to butt in with Justin Timberlake when he wouldn't do breathalyzer or sample, and they just immediately assumed DUI, which has caused all those issues. And I don't know whether you've seen Justin Timberlake's viral video of the cams, the body cams. I just think it's kind of nearly ruined any kind of reputation he was holding on to, and I wonder will that happen with Tiger. Sorry, I just wanted to mention that.
Is Tiger not gone? Okay, so Tiger had the big, when the wife beat the crap out of his car, right, with the golf clubs back in 2009, wasn't it? And then he had to admit being... what was it? He was a sex addict, and he had to take classes. I don't know where those classes are. I'd love to be in those classes. And then he had another crash, and now he's had another crash. Like, was he not on the way out anyway? Like, he's not the Tiger Woods that first crashed onto the golf scene.
But Colm, he was going to make a resurgence again, another comeback, and now we have Tiger back with the mugshots, and that's just, again, bad news for Tiger, but he was going to come back.
The only thing that's positive for him is that the latest mugshot looks better than the last one. So he actually looks better this time around. So if you're like comparing mugshots, I definitely think he looks a little bit younger, a little bit healthier, good complexion and skin. So 10 out of 10 for a better mugshot, Tiger.
Yeah, that's always my big fear when I'm arrested is the mugshot. It really is. It can destroy the brand.
Didn't do too bad for Hugh Grant, right? There's mugshots that can somehow compel you forward. But I think with Tiger and the sex addiction. I mean, look, sex addiction is just like any other addiction, right? It's born out of some level of discomfort in the body. There's an unresolved issue that hasn't been serviced, right? And I think for Tiger, and he's spoken about this, his dad was really quite obsessive, and you see
Yeah.
this in super successful sports people from a young
Williams
age,
sisters.
like the Williams sisters, exactly, right?
Mm.
So you have to have that, and it's a challenge because you unquestionably have some kind of narcissistic parent who more often than not, and I'm sure like listeners here and for all of us here as well, you've met people in your kids' school who clearly have unfulfilled dreams from their own time in school. Often maybe they were subjugated or separated a bit. Maybe they were the bullied type, and now they want their kids to be, the jock or the sporting success and all that kind of good stuff. And when we push too hard and make people appear inside the vision that we want them to have, that creates pain, and then pain creates suffering, and it comes out in something else later on. I think, okay, would he trade up all of his success to be happier as a human? Who knows?
Well, who knows? But he did marry again. So just the thing, you were saying sex addict is just like, I just want to clarify this for myself. So you just said that sex addict is sorry, it's just like any other addiction, right? And I'm just thinking, there's people that like wine and then they're addicted to wine. There's people that like whatever and then they're addicted to, and there's people who generally like sex, and then there's suddenly what's the point that you go, shit, I'm addicted to this now. I just thought it was sex. Now I'm addicted. What is that? What is the moment that you go, whoa, this is? I need to talk to somebody.
If it gets to the point where it interferes with your life or that of people around you, and other people say to you that they think you may have a particular problem with it, then you can pretty much take it that you're in a level of addiction. So with sex addicts, I mean, I've worked with many people who have masturbation addiction. Right? I mean, it's a really
coffee here.
it's a really prevalent factor now, especially for men in their 20s, and they're addicted. And one of the things that I'll say to people when they have addictions to masturbation is that you've got to
put it away.
Right? So no, but you have to tell your housemates, you have to tell your friends, because. And it's a serious matter, right? You can't be left on your own because you're compelled to masturbate. And sex addicts are often in a similar vein. Like we know about the successful sex addicts who are the Tiger Woods, etc., or what's your man's name?
Say, when you say successful, you should say infamous. Like, it's not that you got this so right. You're the
no. I mean successful as in they have the means to execute without masturbating, right? So it's more likely that people who are addicted to masturbation or porn, should I say, to be more correct, people with sex addiction are probably not dissimilar, but they just have the financial means to get somebody else. But
you were saying on a serious note, you're saying that, if you're a sex addict, it may interfere with your life, that may affect what you're doing and that. I mean, he was still able to manage a hole in one out on the golf course, and he became one of the most. I know. I'm sorry. I had to. And he was still able to play around 1 or 2 or 3 rounds of golf at the same time, and still do that as well. So he had it under control as such.
Yeah, but
he was able to handle it well.
Yeah, but that's not unusual. I mean, people can hold down addictions really well. Like people like Dr. Brian Penny, who's a neuroscientist who spent years as a heroin addict working in graphic design. Like it's probable that you can be an addict and still perform. But if it's sex or if it's porn, then you're not doing it all the time. Whereas heroin and cocaine, alcohol become more prolific. But you're ultimately looking for dopamine, right? So why are you looking for dopamine? Because you have an unfulfilled need. So what's his unfulfilled need? Well, possibly my dad didn't love me unless I was winning.
Right, so he's looking for validation, but he's not getting that, so he gets the dopamine. And because if people are watching this on YouTube, you look like the expert. You're wearing a shirt and tie, and you've loads of books behind you, which is always the way the expert appears on BBC, right?
I have got a master's in psychology as well.
Oh, glad you said masters and to finish that.
Master's,
So how often? Okay, so let's say I pop into the doctor and say, look, I think I'm a sex addict. At what point?
he'd look at you and go, "Don't worry, son, you'll be fine."
How many times a day do you tip over to being just a lot, listen, a lot, to the point of that was Danny Dyer, to the point of I'm a sex addict? Is there a number? Is there a scale?
No, again, I go back to, I mean, you're trying to make this into something quite frivolous, and the folks who suffer, right? I mean, sex addiction is
Not the
porn
worst, really,
addiction,
is it?
gambling addiction. It's not pleasant, right? But I think it's a question of, does it interfere with your life?
Right, wife or life? Sorry,
Life.
Oh,
It will
sorry.
definitely interfere with your wife.
And her friends.
Probably interfere with you getting a wife.
So okay. So again, do you think? I suppose this has to be the nail in Tiger's coffin, as they say. I mean, he can't come back from this. The last time after the last crash, he could only walk around 4 holes, and then he had a terrible, sorry, golf holes or whatever they call them, and then had a terrible pain in his back, which probably walking around 4 holes and getting a pain in your back is the sign that you're a sex addict. But he hasn't really played properly again, and also yesterday, Trump sent him a message. Now, I think anything, even falling out and knocking over your Range Rover and climbing out the back and being done for a drink, and then the next day Trump goes, he's a really nice guy. I send all my best to him. He really is. We all love Tiger. I'm thinking that's the nail in the coffin there, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, because you're unfortunately getting a message from somebody who's, not really a sex addict. He's just a misogynistic asshole.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is a challenge. But I mean, at the same time, Trump still can be funny, right? I watched his press conference last week, and what I find amazing is that he knows how to be funny. The media listen to him. Nobody asks him serious questions. Nobody really pushes him because he makes the whole thing a bit of a laugh and a joke, and away we go. So I think Trump talking about Tiger Woods is like Trump talking about anything that isn't him and the Epstein files.
Yeah, exactly.
Very helpful.
Yeah, makes it go away. So actually, just we were talking about Trump, and we were going to talk about petrol, and people say petrol's gone up and petrol's gone down, and petrol prices. I was at a petrol station yesterday, and I was only meaning to put in 20, but that when you put the pump into the car, you know exactly how long it's going to take, from doing it so many times. So you might be looking around or whatever. I looked up and I'd got to 25 euros in less than the time. So I don't even know the price of it. I just know the time it puts the petrol in. And I went, what the f is going on? And when I got to 30, it felt like 15. I mean, have we doubled in price now? I know that you know more of this because you've books behind you.
Well, I mean, it's books are very important.
They are, yes.
But I mean, you've just got records behind you there.
Record. You can't see anything. But I have a book as well.
There's a record there in the back. There's one stuck on the wall there. I mean, you've spun a few records in your day on the old.
Sorry, they're gold discs, by the way. You have to sell over 150,000 albums to get a gold disc, and the other one is a platinum disc. So thank you very much for that. And they'll be very soon on sale.
It definitely sums up the difference of how you are as brothers, is that one has musician behind them, the other one has books behind them. It gives you your nice little intricate, what's the word?
Intricate?
Intricate. Yeah, I can't even say it. But
what word do you go for, Terry?
That's the word I was going
intricate?
for.
I mean,
sorry.
Differences.
Sorry, Justin, give him a book. Give him a lot of a book, will you? He's
Sorry, your differing views on sex addiction are enough. Like, it's enough to know where we stand. Like, I don't even need you to have books and albums to know. Here we go. Here we pop. We've got Michael Douglas over here.
Oh, that was
we've got like psychiatrist.
Father Bride Darcy over there.
Frickin' father.
God, it was Michael Douglas was the first one, wasn't he? When he got caught out, he went, "Oh, I'm addicted." That's right, yeah. I was trying to remember who it was, and then it suddenly became a thing. Like it was fine before Michael Douglas.
Anyway,
He
petrol.
ruined it for everybody. Petrol. Tell me about petrol. Is it doubled in price?
Well, it's funny because I was putting petrol in the car yesterday, right? And I've said this at home recently. We've got to top up all the time because I do think in the next couple of weeks we're just going to run out of petrol, right? So I do think it's going to be a point where if things don't improve soon, there will be a rationing of petrol, and we won't get petrol in forecourt. So I always keep topping it up all the time. But the thing that I noticed is that when I was standing in the line yesterday to pay, everybody was like, €5 on number 3, €6 on number 7. And I said to my wife when I came home, like, it was clear that people are just buying really small amounts of fuel because it's so expensive. And like, diesel's like 210. I think petrol is about 192, as in that's like US equivalent of gasoline. And we now have oil prices, as it stands right now, are $115 a barrel. So in the US, it's huge because once gas prices get over $3 a gallon, it becomes a political matter.
Right.
California, it was $7 yesterday. And different states is different prices because they charge different taxes. There's a lot of carbon taxes in California, as you would imagine, that are not necessarily there anywhere else because they just deny that the world is getting warmer in Utah. But you, I mean, this really bites, right? And it really hurts, and things are just getting more and more expensive. And I don't think we're getting any closer to a resolution. And this, is just going to mean life gets more difficult. Food prices go up. We depend on fertilizers that come out of the Strait of Hormuz. Gas prices for Europe, we're in real trouble because we're a huge gas importer.
I'm struggling finding a nice clean T-shirt because all the ones I ordered from Temu are. I think I spotted some of them being worn by the Houthis in Yemen because they've stopped
apparently
that
they're wearing those kind of little grandfather cardigans now with the T-shirts stitched in on the inside.
Why did we never think of this before? Very comfortable for terrorists. Nice look. Nice look. I remember the petrol crisis in 1973. You weren't born, Jay, so I was about 10, 11 years of age. And it was after it was the Yom Kippur War. I was actually looking this up. Yom Kippur, yeah. So suddenly all the petrol, all the oil, there was an embargo on oil with the OPEC nations. But I remember with Dad, I drove down and what we had then was a Ford Cortina and a jerry can. Do you remember they call them jerry cans? And you were only allowed a certain amount of petrol. And the queue was all down the Swords Road. This is in North County Dublin. Into the Shannon, into Santry. And you could be queuing for like maybe an hour. And he would bring me with him just for somebody to talk to. And you would queue till you got to the forecourt. And then they wouldn't fill up your car. They'd fill up your jerry can. And then you had to, so they knew exactly how much you were getting. And then you'd had to put that into your car. It's just a memory I remember. Great days with my dad during the oil crisis.
This is the reality where it goes, right? Because like the US is actually one of the biggest exporters of gas, right? So if you go back to the Iraq War when they invaded, they wanted to own more petroleum, but actually, since fracking, they're the biggest exporter of petroleum products in the world, right? They export more petrol than any other nation combined.
Yeah.
Now, what's likely to happen is if the Houthis come in and close down their part, the Straits of Hormuz are already closed now effectively as well. The US will then likely say, we're not exporting anymore. We're going to protect our own.
Yeah.
That would be exactly back to where you were in your little shorts.
I think your mic has gone, Justin.
No, it's not.
What'd you say?
Well, it has for me.
No, it's working fine.
No, it's fine here.
What did you say?
Keep going then, sorry.
Sorry, she thought your microphone had gone. No, but it's fine. It's fine.
Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you all the time.
Okay.
I think one of the scary things is that when I was there with my little jerry can back in 1973, right? Every house just had one car. Like every house. Somebody that had two cars was like unheard of. But now we're in a situation where, like, I don't know, like with you, Jay, you've two or three, we've three out the front. Like your daughter has one, your son has one. My daughter, my son, and I have one. So there's an awful lot more petrol required than there would have been in the 70s, and that's going to be scary as well.
Yeah, yeah, there is. But then there's also, lots of other things that we need. Like petrol has many more needs outside that. So
Yes.
I think, look,
Vaseline.
it's scary. I think it's difficult. There's going to be hard things to come and deal with as the weeks go on. But, this is what it is, right? We can't change it. We can't influence it. We've got to kind of be with it and see how we get on. It's not easy at all.
Are they going to put troops on the ground? Isn't this what they're talking about now? To actually go to Carrick, isn't it? Carrick Island and surround it with the Marines, so that they can't be destroyed, and then they just, I don't know. That'd be just crazy if they put troops on the ground. But anyway,
yeah, who knows? But I look onto nicer things though. One of the questions that Bex asked us earlier on today was, do things make you feel happy? Do things make you feel happy? Do you feel happier that your microphone lights up when you speak into it, like some kind of like amusement at an arcade?
Yeah, again, if you'd like to pop over to YouTube or just click that video option on Spotify, you can see my microphone, which actually changes in color. You can see now it's going from green to blue. I specifically bought one that made colors rather than one that didn't, because I knew it'd make me feel a little bit happier. And I also like the stand that I have as well. Makes me feel more newscastery. Yeah, so I like materialism. I'm big into materialism.
Nice.
I'm not into esoteric happiness. I don't think it exists.
How would you define esoteric, esoteric?
Esoteric.
Happiness. Assuming that's the same word.
ESSO, no, esoteric.
Tomato, right?
No, esoteric happiness is when prices of oil goes down. It's ESSO.
Oh, okay, right. Yes.
All the hippy dippy stuff of looking into the stars and rubbing stones and lying on the ground and looking up. Yeah, nah. I want a good microphone that makes different colors, and yeah, nice stuff. I do like nice stuff. I don't have much nice stuff.
Yeah, I think materialism is very difficult to avoid if you live in this world, right?
Yeah.
Like, the reality is, how can you avoid materialism? I think it's prevalent in what we do. I do like nice things. I mean, and equally, if you're accumulating money and working, well, you might as well spend it and do something with it too. I mean, I'm a saver and I'm an investor and all that kind of good stuff. But equally, you gotta have nice things.
Gotta live life. No, but in fairness, I mean, I know I was being a bit facetious there. I do enjoy
That's very unusual.
Thank you very much. I do enjoy, the walks through the lakes and the ponds of life, and pondering as you go through the mists of the mountains and stuff like that, and maybe sitting cross-legged on a large rock overlooking the Atlantic and just thinking about Joyce and Yeats and punctuation.
Interesting. I mean, I do think simple things are really valuable as well. Every day I meditate for 10 minutes. I go for a walk with my dog. They're generally the two things to start my day, and they're probably the most important things that I do in my day. It's time outside in nature. It's just, whether it's raining, well, predominantly it's just raining.
Yeah.
It's Ireland. But I think just slowing down a little bit, having 10 minutes. Like, I find if I wake up in the morning, I can feel agitated when I wake up. My mind is busy from dreaming, from sleeping. And even just having that 10 minutes to just slow down and then drop in and then get outside, have a nice walk. I think it costs nothing. And it is the most rewarding part of my day, unquestionably.
I do like walking my dog. I got to say, absolutely, walking the dog is brilliant. Can I just say one thing? Because you're talking about dreaming, and I want to do this now, and we should maybe do and reveal some of our dreams. But the other night, this has never, ever happened to me before, ever in my entire life, okay? But I dreamt I had sex with Princess Diana.
Okay, that's why we're wrapping up the show now at this point, because we're getting into the realms of the fantasy land, and you're on a roll today.
So, no, I actually did. Do you want me to? No, I won't give any details.
No, but at least it wasn't Prince Andrew, right? I mean, at least it's the better of the royal, right?
He was trying to get into the room, but I had it locked.
Was that just before she died then? So is it as a consequence of sex with you that she died?
No, absolutely not. No. She was very happy. I got the royal seal.
Okay, great, guys. We'll see you. We'll see you on Sunday for the after show. For this, you need to like, subscribe, and follow, and make sure that you are sharing as well if you're liking the episode. Thank you so much.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
there's quite a lot to unpack for the Sunday show. Yeah. Okay, like, subscribe, the whole lot. We'll be back for the. I was going to say the best of. Why did I declare that? We'll be back for the after show on Sunday. This is Not So Christian Brothers. Justin Caffrey is my brother,
Hi.
and I am Colm Hayes. Have a great day, everyone.